Welcome to the 2021 Economic Depression and Preparation channel. I'm your host, Tony. Thank you for joining me once again on this March 30th, 2021, almost the end of the first quarter of the year. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button, preach to me, and let all of your friends and neighbors know that this is the place to be for the 100% pure, unadulterated financial truth and news. Thank you so much. Now, on to today's topic. We're going to be talking about the need for more stimulus payments and almost recurring stimulus payments. Is America trying to join the rest of the world and providing a universal basic income in the midst of this economic crisis that we're experiencing? Also, the Federal Reserve Central Bank says it isn't keeping rates low to finance government debt, although government debt is at all-time record highs. And also, that the stock market is at all-time record highs, but that's going to be waning and fading and dwindling as we go deeper and deeper into this crisis. So, first of all, more Democratic senators are calling for recurring stimulus payments. Letter comes as President Biden prepares to unveil his second big legislative package. Now, remember, we've already had the $1.9 trillion, T as in trillion, T as in tango, $1 trillion package passed. Most of the $1,400 that Americans received have been long spent either online retailer or in-person retailer. As a matter of fact, just passed a particular Super Walmart a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, while away, and I saw a number of big screen televisions flying off the shelves and into people's pickup trucks, and other food and other resources was amazing me. Although some of the smarter people like you and I spent the money on gold and silver, preparations like food, water, medicine, clothes, survival goods, and gear, are paying down debt. Others were out buying big screen TVs with their first stimulus check, or other things that they didn't really need. Instant gratification, the American dream. But ladies and gentlemen, this next package that Biden is going to pass is going to be absolutely crushing to the economy, because we're talking another $3 to $4 trillion of debt added on to the national debt. And this letter that he sent to the second-ranking Democrat in the United States Senate asked President Biden to include recurring stimulus payments to Americans in his Build Back Better package to be unveiled soon. Now, my guess is he'll probably unveil this sometime in May or June, because the moratorium on rents and all of that and mortgages is going to be extended till May 30th. And then so June, sometime at the end of June, President Biden is going to be talking about this plan, because he wants to get it done during his quote-unquote first 100 days or just shortly after that. The letter, which circulated in March, also asked Biden to include automatic unemployment benefit extensions that will be tied to the state of the economy. It was signed by Senator Richard Durbin, the Illinois Democrat who serves as Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer's top lieutenant. Durbin also chairs the Senate Judiciary Committee. So in total, we have 25 of the 50 Democrats in the Senate have now signed on to this letter to get universal basic income basically passed into the legislation. President Biden is set to unveil some of the details of his plan, which is reported as a two-part plan with a focus on infrastructure in the first plan. And also, he's going to focus on some other things called He's going to use a process called budget reconciliation to push through a package without any Republican votes necessary, if he needs to go to that route. Republicans have said they are supportive of the infrastructure funding, but worry that the Democrats will use this package as a Trojan horse, quote, in Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell's words, for tax hikes and unneeded spending on climate change programs. Remember, they're all about the Green Deal and the Green Thumb and saving the carbon in the environment, etc. So my question is, if we do go to this universal basic income where we get a check every month, say they give Americans $2,000 every month, the 40 million unemployed Americans and the 20 million underemployed Americans who have given up looking for work, meaning that they have a job but they're underemployed and have a bunch of gig jobs to try to make up for a full-time job. So we have to remember that too, that even though we have 40 million unemployed Americans, we also have 20 million underemployed Americans. That includes college students who have multiple degrees who are not really getting the value out of the degree, meaning their starting salaries are way lower than what they're expected. Even in the STEM careers, the science, technology, engineering, mathematics, at least in America, the starting salaries are much lower as companies are now forced to cut benefits. They want to get more contract workers in and H-1B visa workers in as this whole immigration debate goes on. And so the value of our dollar is being diminished. The value of our purchasing power is being diminished in favor of a global, overseas, digital economy, basically. And so how far does a $2,000 universal basic income go in America and in other countries? Please comment below. If you've lived in another country like Europe, Asia, Africa, tell me how far $2,000 a month will go there versus here when we're about to experience a period of hyperinflation because prices on food, utilities, rent, taxes are going up on cars, taxes are going up on houses, property taxes is going up in all these states I'm hearing in Illinois, California, Florida, Texas, all the states that traditionally had lower property taxes are now raising the property taxes because states are in a deficit as we move into this digital economy, the reset, the Great American Reset. And so, in my estimation, the Great American Reset is going to take 10 years, the next 10 years, and we're going to be in a depressionary state for this next 10 to 12 years, and we won't come out of it to 2031, 2032, looking at the charts. And it's just a reset for the 99%. Obviously, the top 1% will remain the richest in the world. They will have all the benefits and all that nature, but for the 99%, the rest of us, there's going to be a change in infrastructure, a change of life, of doing, and this is going to be worldwide, okay? So, the stimulus has passed. The Federal Reserve Bank has said that they're keeping the rates low to finance government debt. Government debt has jumped nearly 20% during this health crisis, and the deficit for the fiscal year is on track to easily exceed $2 trillion. So, as we continue to pile debt upon debt, remember now, the Federal Reserve Bank is buying $100 billion of treasuries each month, along with $40 billion of mortgage-backed securities each month. Total government debt is at $4.5 trillion, or nearly 20% since early March 2020 of last year. So the Congressional Budget Office has projected that the fiscal 2021 shortfall to be $2.3 trillion, and that doesn't include the $1.9 trillion stimulus package that we just went through now. And most people have already gotten the money, the $1,400, and spent it or saved it or whatever they did. So, the central bank can only keep rates for so low for so long. Now, they have two options. The first option that many economists and many people feel is that they will go into negative interest rates. You have to remember, the European Central Bank is already into negative interest rates. I don't see that happening because the 10-year Treasury bill is continuing to rise above 1.6%. And they don't want to go negative because those people won't get anything off the yields. People won't buy the bonds that they're selling now because they have to sell bonds to raise money. The government has to raise money on the debt that they owe right now. So I don't think they'll go negative, but I do think eventually at the start of next year, and this is where the depression is going to get worse, the Federal Reserve is going to have to raise interest rates by a quarter of a point or 0.50 basis points because the economy and the prices are going to be heating up, not just in the consumer price index, but in the other markets are going to be heated up. In the credit market and in the business market are going to be heating up as well. And so because of which, they're going to have to raise rates by 50 basis points, and that's going to drop this economy down. And we're going to go into a little bit of a price rise, then it's going to go into stagflation. After stagflation, for 2 or 3 years, with the unemployment numbers not going down as much as they say it is. Remember, because we're still losing over 500,000 jobs per week. So that's still going to continue, and we're going to go into stagflation. Then after that, is going to be the deflationary depression, where nobody has any cash available to buy these cheap goods that are going to be going, prices are going to be falling, savings rates is going up. Because remember, American savings rates have been increasing ever since last year because people have been staying home. They haven't been going out to movies or eating or going to the gyms or concerts and all that kind of stuff, or cruises. Supposedly, according to what the media is telling us, is that the savings rates of Americans is increasing. So that leads me to believe that instead of this pent-up demand that you've been hearing panted to you on MSNBC, Fox News, CNN, ABC, and the like, it's going to be a deflationary depression, just like the depression in 1929, except this time we're going to get a bout of hyperinflation into stagflation, and then finally the deflation when nobody has any money, or people have money but they're not going to be willing to spend it on this stuff because they know that wages are going to be falling, prices are going to be falling, and the economy is just basically shot. It's in the depression. The economy died in 2008, ladies and gentlemen. We put a band-aid on it, but it never really recovered, and so now it's just a matter of printing this currency out of existence, the fiat currency, the dollar, so that we can get into this digital currency, whatever it's going to be called. We don't know. It's not going to be a Bitcoin, but it's going to be like a blockchain Bitcoin that the banks and the government control, not the people, unfortunately. So that's coming, but they have to get rid of the dollar first. But that's after the collapse. We're talking after 10, 12 years. And they're going to institute it now, but it's going to be prominence. Its prominence is going to take effect after the collapse, as America is seen as many eyes as being the Babylon, so to speak, of the world. So that's just the report for today, ladies and gentlemen. Please be sure to subscribe. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next report.